Hello, everyone. We're going to give it just a few more seconds for some folks to get in the room, but I'm so glad you're here today with the Monica Howard social media live stream. We're going to have a great conversation today about email marketing and its importance to your business. So let's give it just a few more seconds. Hopefully we'll have some folks to come in the room. We are broadcasting live today on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. So hoping folks will come on in. If you're in the room, make sure, let's see, hi, I'm not able to view the event. Is there a specific link? Okay, let's see here. We've got some folks on LinkedIn asking a question. Let's see here. And let me answer her. Let's see. Dina. Thank you so much. Let me see. Dina is trying to get in. So let me comment for her. Now let's go this way. There we go. Okay. Picture. All right. Okay, so let's hope that she can see that. I don't know because I don't see her here yet. I'm hoping. You know what? Let's do this. Let me put a note in here for other folks that are on LinkedIn trying to come into the room. Let's see here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started in just a second. I'm trying to make sure that the folks on LinkedIn are able to come in. And let me also do this. Yes. Make sure that I have everything where it needs to be. Okay, hopefully she'll be here in a sec, but we're going to go ahead and get started because I've got my special guest today and I don't want to keep her waiting. All right, so hopefully folks will come on in the room in just a moment. Thank you guys so much for joining us here today as we talk about email marketing. I want to make sure, yeah, there we are right there. Just trying to talk about nope, don't want that. All right. Okay, so welcome to Monica Howard Live. We're going to talk about social media marketing versus email marketing. So again, I'm broadcasting live on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on YouTube. So don't forget to follow or subscribe to those channels. I'm going to really quickly put up a QR code. Make sure you connect with me or follow me on LinkedIn. If you can just take your cell and you can just scan that QR code, that you can connect with me, follow me here on LinkedIn. I am also going to put that information in the chat. So if it would be better for you just to do it in the comments, let's see. So if you want to follow me on Facebook or subscribe to my channel on YouTube, you can do that. I'm putting the information on the comments. Yay. All right. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and get started. So today we are going to talk about email marketing and why it works with social media and not against it or as opposed to. Because I know some people are like, okay, well, if I have one, I don't need the other. Well, that's not necessarily the case. My guest today is email marketing expert Valerie Kirby. Valerie and I connected about a month ago at an Atlanta Black Chambers call on a call that we were having, and we had a conversation, decided to collaborate on this information and information that we know business owners need. She has a background, very extensive background in education here in the States and abroad, and pivoted to a professional journey in technology, where she now helps businesses make smart and profitable email marketing moves. So join me in welcoming Valerie Kirby to the Monica Howard Social Media Live stage. Yay!
Hey, Monica. Thanks for having me. Hey,
Hi,
everybody.
how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How are you today?
I am doing well. So I tell you what, why don't you tell everybody? I mean, I gave you that really quick introduction, but why don't you tell everybody exactly who you are? Give us a little bit more information.
Absolutely. Well, you covered a lot in your intro, and I appreciate that. A little bit more about me is I am Valerie Kirby of Valerie K Email Marketing LLC. What I do is I help businesses, brands, influencers alike get their email marketing strategy under control. I design emails, I deploy email campaigns, I help to write effective subject lines, email copy, that's body copy, selecting images for email. When it comes to email, it's something I'm passionate about, and that's my wheelhouse.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, listen, we are going to dive right in. I just want to remind people that this is a discussion. So, if you have questions, if you have things you want to chime in with, please go ahead and put that in the comments. I'm going to be checking those. Let's see here. Let me check it right now, as a matter of fact. I hope that user was able to get in because I did comment to her and I don't quite see her yet. So hopefully she'll get in just a second. But let's go ahead. Let's dive in.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds good.
let's do that. All right. So this is really simple, but I think a lot of people they don't know. They think they know, but they don't really know what email marketing is or what it's about. So why don't you tell us what exactly is email marketing?
Sure thing. So, email marketing essentially is the act of sending a commercial email to a group of people. So, it involves using an email service provider such as a HubSpot, which is one of my favorites, Constant Contact. You've got MailChimp, you've got SendGrid, you've got Luminate Online, which is under Blackbaud. There's so many different email service providers or ESPs out there. The reason that businesses or brands or professionals choose to use email marketing is to solicit business, it's to solicit sales or donations, it's to promote an event, it's to promote a special or a sale that you have going on within your company or your business. It's a great way to reach out and personalize a lot of your emails for your constituents or your audience. So it's a tool that I really love to use.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so, would you say this is a necessary tool when you're a business owner?
1000%.
Okay.
1000%. It's especially effective. I know we're going to get deeper into that in a few minutes, but
Okay.
I do want to just kind of, make it clear that if you think about if you're an Amazon shopper, right? You make a purchase on Amazon, and then within a couple of days, you'll get an Amazon email that says, "Hey, we saw you recently purchased this. We think you might also like this." That's an example of email marketing being effective and used appropriately. So a lot of websites use your patterns and your habits on their site to
Mm-hmm.
shoot you special emails to get you to engage with their website again or to even make purchases. So you're missing out
Exactly.
on money if you're not utilizing email marketing.
That's the whole thing. You're missing out on money. Okay, give me just 1 second. I'm going to try one more thing. I think people are having an issue getting in to see
Okay.
this live. So give me just 1 second here. I'm going to see if I can't go into, um, let's go to my homepage. And we're moving a little slow today. Come on. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's do. There we go. Okay, hey Dina. So glad you're here. Let me just put a note in here. Okay. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Bloop. Okay, let's get back to work. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so we know, again, business owners need email marketing. So here's the thing. Over the last few years, and this is why I want to talk about email and social media together. Over the last few years, I have started to hear this variation of nobody checks email anymore. Nobody uses email. I mean, come on. And I hear this, I'm gonna be honest. I hear this a lot from younger business people because, of course, and this is a thing, I get it. A lot of businesses now use direct messaging and selling on text messaging and all of that. And I get it. But listen, guys, this is what I want you to know. Okay, listen up. This is not going to be a surprise when it comes to social media. 3.2 billion people use social media every day. That's not a shock to anyone.
Right.
But for anybody who's hating on email, okay, 4 billion people check their email every day. Every day.
Yes.
Right? So this time you hear somebody say, I don't use email. Okay, whatever. You need to educate them because email is absolutely a viable option when it comes to getting in front of and selling to your customer.
I 1000% agree with you, Monica. And the thing is, people have been engaging with email, and email has been around for over 40 years, right? So it's one of our main forms of communication. Sure, social media is great, but we've only seen it really take off and used in the marketing space for businesses within the last 5 to 8 years. It's still somewhat new on the scene. And, you know, as people kind of move and pivot towards like the Web3, that's going to be less about social media and more about, you know, decentralizing where everyone's going for one thing, but making it kind of your own. So when it comes to email, you have to have an email address in order to set up your social media account. You have to have an email address with your job, with your business. All of it's tied together. You know what I mean? So we can't count email out. So when I hear people say that, I'm like, okay, guys, let's check the numbers because email has been here for 40 years. Okay, it's not going anywhere.
And I think people are like, well, you know, there's something new and fresh. Listen, new and fresh is good, but if you have something that's working and that's legitimate, which email is, look, don't count it out just because it's not new anymore. It's effective. So use it.
And to your earlier point, as far as, you know, it not necessarily being like social media versus email marketing, they work together under your digital marketing strategy, right? So that includes your SMS testing, your website development, and all those things too. It's all connected.
And so, you know, and that's getting to, that was going to be my next question. Like, why is email marketing so very important to a business's digital strategy? Why is that piece so? Because I mean, you know, honestly, there are a lot of other things that you could try, but really quickly, why is that so important to business owners?
Yeah, so we touched on this a little bit earlier. It has been around for 40 plus years. So it's one of our main forms of communication, especially electronic communication. So let's keep up with that. Let's, you know, make sure we implement that into our business strategy. Also, email allows owners to regularly stay in touch with their customers and website visitors. So buyers appreciate being kept in the loop in terms of latest products or promotions or events that one's holding. So that's something you want to keep in mind too, because if you're building a good relationship with your customer, they're more likely to buy your products, engage with your, you know, your promotions, your events more often, right? It's also super easy and affordable to set up your email service provider to reach customers in real time. So a lot of people think, oh, it's going to be so much money and so costly to develop and code and do all of that. You don't have to know how to code to run an email marketing campaign, right? You don't have to necessarily hire a designer. If you're a bigger agency or a bigger company, maybe you have the bandwidth to do that. But if you're just a small business owner, it's very easy to set up your own email service provider and set up your contacts and deploy campaigns fairly easily. Email marketing effectiveness is also pretty easy to measure, which is why I like to recommend it to small business owners as well. As soon as you send it a campaign, all of your email service providers will be able to give you those metrics, right? Overall deliverability, open rates, how many people opened your email, click rates, how many people actually clicked through your email, which button or which image did they click on? All of that really matters.
Yes.
And you can measure it's an email success using email marketing and using an email service provider. And the last thing I do want to mention is the special thing that sets email aside from social media marketing is the fact that you can personalize email and segment your audience. So for example, we talked earlier on about Amazon. Let's say I bought a new lamp off of Amazon. Amazon's going to put me into a special segment of their email list that says, Valerie likes lamps. Let's send her all these new lamps. Let's just kind of, we feel like she's going to like this color because she already bought that color. So we're going to send that. They're not going to send you an email, Monica, about lamps because you're not buying lamps. Only Valerie is. So that's one thing that separates email from social media. You can't personalize content necessarily on social media. It's one of one message, one post, and everybody's supposed to understand and get and buy. Email, you can personalize it.
Right. Based on what that customer has done in the past.
Exactly.
And because they've done that in the past, it makes sense that they may do it again. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So let's be clear on that. It's not an either or situation. Like, look, guys, it's not either or. Agreed, Valerie?
Agreed. 1010%.
Yeah, because social media, you can use social media to initially get in front of your customer for that brand awareness. They want to know who you are. You want them to know who you are and what you represent and your product and your service and you're great and you're hey, right? But once you do that, and you know what? I'm a social media consultant, but it is what it is. Listen, having your own email list can be a savior for you. We have all seen over the last couple of years where the Twitter server goes down, Instagram goes down, Facebook decides they don't want to work today, or whatever, on LinkedIn isn't working correctly, but you still need to get in front of your customer. Absolutely. If that happens, what do? Right? If you have that email list that you have, curated because you've been running these wonderful email campaigns, you can still connect with your customer without having to rely on social media. Social media is great. It has its place. It is important, but you really need to use these two together to really make an impact. Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. So you know what? I want to make sure that people leave this call today with a couple of things that they can actually do today. So let me ask you a couple of things. First thing, and this is just going to be what people really need to know. If you had to give me top 3 best practices with email for business owners, what would it be? What would they be?
That's a tough. I probably got like 12 that I'm thinking of right off the bat, but I'm going to condense it down to 3.
Okay.
So number 1 would be always check the data. So we talked earlier on about, the importance of checking the metrics that come along with, your email campaigns. As soon as that email sends, you want to make sure that it actually sends on time, unless you're scheduling it to send later on, but you're always confirming to make sure that it sends. And then about a week later, it's important to dive into that data, check those metrics, see what's working, see what's not working, and then make tweaks based off of that. Okay. I like to run a lot of A/B tests where you can send 2 different variations of an email to your audience and test and see, okay, which one does my audience relate to more? Which type of email or which type of layout or which subject line matters most to this client? Should I make this a part of my strategy going forward? So checking the data is going to be number 1. Number 2 would also be to power-proof your emails. So it's a method that I do with all of my emails.
Say that again?
What is the power-proof method? That's
power-proof.
Power-proof, yes.
Okay.
So that just means you're proofreading your emails before you actually send it. So that means you're reading your email aloud, top to bottom, subject line, preview text. You're clicking all of the buttons in your email to make sure they go exactly where you want them to go. You're making sure that your email is mobile responsive. So over half of the population reads their emails on their mobile devices.
Right.
So you have to make sure that your email is mobile responsive, because if your picture's too big or the text is too wonky, your client who's reading that email is going to, skip over that and not engage at all. And you don't want that. You want that sale. You want that engagement. You want that click. So you want to make it as easy and as seamless as possible for that client to engage with your content.
Right.
So always make sure that it's mobile responsive. Make sure you don't have weird commas, wrong periods, get a friend or a buddy to read through that email with, because I do have a teaching background, so I can become a bit of a stickler about grammar and punctuation. But when you read things aloud, they sound different. Yes. Yeah. But, you think you're reading it like, oh, yeah, this is great, this is great, this is great. But until you actually read something out loud to another person or have a friend read it to you, you'll really see how the rest of the audience is going to engage with your emails.
Right.
And then my last tip is accept the unsubscribes. I know a lot of people get they get down, they get depressed when people unsubscribe from their email list. They take it so personally. It's like, oh my God, right. People unsubscribe. And I get it. You can take that personally, right? But
I have taken it personally. I had to get over myself.
You have to get over yourself.
One person, and I would go, wait a minute. It's like, you know what? Can I get a grip?
Yes, it is okay. Sometimes people unsubscribe for, reasons that are beyond you. Maybe they feel like you're sending too many emails. Maybe they're just cleaning out their inbox and they figured, I don't really need this right now in my life. So I'm ready to, move on to something else. That's okay. It's fine. You don't have to chase people down, spam them. Because I know when I unsubscribe, I don't ever want to see it again. So, stay in compliance with the CAN-SPAM laws and things like that. So make sure that when people unsubscribe, you really leave them alone. Then also, I would say, think about why somebody's unsubscribing. Is it your content? Maybe your content doesn't resonate with them. Maybe you're, really on one end of the political spectrum and this audience member completely disagrees. Right. Do you really want that person's engagement, that person's dollars? Mm-hmm. Think about that kind of thing. So again,
it's not personal. It's business. It's not personal.
It's business.
And just like you were saying, maybe at the time that they subscribed to you, they really needed what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe now, not so much. So
exactly.
Yeah. I got it. It's good. Okay, let me just check the comments here to make sure that we don't have anything coming in. I don't see anything there. Okay, seems like we're good. So what time is it? Let me check my time. Okay, we got just a few more minutes. So I do have a couple of other questions.
Okay.
So the subject line, and can I just be real transparent and say, yes, I do email marketing. I don't do it as often as I should. And there are times I'm in there and I'm writing my stuff and I'm poking around. And I'm like, I don't know if that's going to work, but we're going to do it. So let me just ask you this. Does the email subject line really matter? Does that subject line really influence people to open that email or not?
Immediately, yes. Okay. The subject line 100% matters. You want to make sure that your subject line is not spammy, something that reads like click here, or you have to word whatever you're talking about to make the reader engage with it, to get them kind of curious. I like to use a lot of emojis in subject lines. I've run A/B tests in the past that have proved that emojis do help to increase open rates and overall email engagement. People like that little pop of color, or emojis, or get your emotions going, I guess.
Okay.
I love emojis, period, in texting and writing anyway. So okay. I'm a fan. But using that type of a trick is super important. And the subject line is important also because I've learned that, it's a good idea to let your readers know what they're getting into before they actually open their email. So if you're writing about math, you want to make sure that that subject line leads the reader to understand that you're talking about math, but again, it piques their interest a little bit and it keeps them wanting more. So
okay,
it does matter, absolutely. And last point, I do want to say that A/B testing subject lines, whether it's the type of subject line that you have or the type of emojis you're using in your subject line, it really helps to A/B test those in a long period of time to figure out what works best for your audience.
Okay. Now, when you say a long period of time, define that.
I would say a month to 3 months. I think
Okay.
I say 3 months would be a really, really solid amount of time to figure out your subject line strategy.
Okay. 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 We got questions.
Okay.
Okay. So Dina, hey Dina, she's joining us on LinkedIn. She said, I have 2 questions. If I am sending several emails about the same event, would you recommend adding a sense of exclusivity to ensure, oh, hold on. Let me hit the more button, to ensure we receive a better click-through rate?
I like this question, Dina. I do. I would say if you are promoting an event or a sale or something like that, you want to roll that out at least 2 to 3 weeks before the actual event or the sale starts, just to kind of warm up and nurture your audience and get them hyped and get them ready for this event or this sale. So as a consumer, I don't like a lot of emails being bombarded at me. Sell, sell, sell Monday. Sell, sell, sell Tuesday. So it's like, okay, I'm burnt out. I'm unsubscribing. But I like to, think about segmentation. So your clients that really engage with a lot of your emails, you can do this by looking at your metrics and see who are your most valuable email clients, people who engage with your content the most. Maybe you create a special email list for those folks and send them your super exclusive deals or your super exclusive email content. For everyone else, I would really think about, sending those emails 2 to 3 times a week, about 3 weeks before the actual event or promotion or sale actually starts. If you want me to elaborate more, Dina, I'm more than happy to.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dina, and if you need to reach out to her, I am going to give her contact information. Guys, we've been here for 30 minutes. If you need to hop off, I get it. I totally understand. I am recording this, so we are going to post this again. So I get it. But Dina's got a second question. She says, does it matter if you send an email on a Thursday or Friday? There is a rule that says emails are more successful Monday through Wednesday. That's a good question.
That's true. That is very true.
It is true.
For email marketing things. Yes. Actually, I believe Tuesdays at 8 a.m. is the best time, the optimal time to send email marketing campaigns. The reason you send them early in the morning is because a lot of people, unfortunately, you're not supposed to do this, but I do it. You kind of wake up in the morning, you roll over, you check your phone, you check your email, and you are more likely to open those emails that are sitting at the top of your inbox. So if you wake up early in the morning around 7 or 8 and you see an email come in, automatically that email's at the top of your inbox, you're more than likely to engage with that email. So Tuesdays at 7 or 8 a.m., depending on where you're located, that's going to be the optimal time to send your email campaigns. Now, that doesn't mean that just because you send an email on a Thursday or Friday that no one's going to open it. Those open rates and those click rates are probably going to be lower if you're sending them later in the afternoon. But I would try to send them as early as possible in the morning. 7 a.m., 6 a.m. for sure.
Now that's some good stuff. Thank you, Dina, for your question. That's awesome. Okay. And we're going to get ready to end the call, but I do have one more. There was one other question I wanted to ask you. We got that one. We got that one. There was another one. What was it? Oh, okay. Last question. And I don't know that this is even a thing, but it always concerns me. I know I can't do anything. Well, maybe I can do something about it. When you are putting your emails together, are there any best practices to make sure your email doesn't go to the spam file?
1000%, Monica. There are several best practices to ensure that your emails are not going to the spam folder. So
okay.
First and foremost, I talked earlier on about that subject line not being or sounding too spammy, right? So you don't want to make it seem like your subject line is spammy, because that's going to, cause the email service system to just automatically put that into the spam folder. So make sure that the subject line is very specific, has enough words. It's not something like sell, 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 buy, buy, buy. You don't want to use language like that. You want to use power words. You want to use engaging verbs that drive action and drive engagement to your emails. Second tip, to make sure that your emails are not going to the spam folder, you want to make sure that you're in compliance with, it's called the CAN-SPAM Act, which ensures that if somebody opens your email and they decide that they don't want to be subscribed anymore, they have the right to unsubscribe in peace. So you want to make sure that you always have that unsubscribe component in the bottom, in the footer of your email, to make sure that your constituents or your clients always have the option to opt out, unsubscribe, manage their preferences. You have to do that. If you don't have that, automatically spam folder.
You know what? And I'll be honest with you, I thought everybody did that. Of course, the unsubscribe is going to be at the bottom. I have seen several in the last couple of months where it's nowhere to be found.
Yep.
And that irritates me. So yes, please make sure it's there.
It's very important. You also want to make sure that you're using a reputable email service provider. So I talked about some of my favorites: HubSpot, MailChimp, Constant Contact, SendGrid. There's like 10 others, but those to me are like the top most popular, most reputable ones that, you know, make sure that your emails are going straight to your Gmail, or straight to Gmails, straight to Yahoo emails, AOL, Hotmail. If you like, you know, my grandma or somebody like that still using Hotmail. No shade if you're still using Hotmail, but you know, you want to make sure that you're using a reputable email service provider to get those emails sent off. Always get permission from a person before you send them an email. A lot of times people get email addresses from random lists that they buy off of the internet. And you know, that can really get you in trouble. You might be sued or face lawsuits. So make sure you have somebody's permission before you start sending them emails.
Yes. Oh, and let me just say this. Do not go to a networking event, get somebody's business card, and assume that they want to get on your email list. No, ma'am. That is not how that works. Don't do that. You still have to have their permission to go on your email list.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because and I'll admit it, when I first started, I'd be like, well, I mean, I got the email address. No, stop. Don't do it. Abort mission. Anyway, so guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to thank my special guest, Valerie Kirby.
Thanks for having me, Monica.
Yes, ma'am, for allowing us to revel in your email expertise. Thank you. Let's see here. I am going to, if you guys need to reach out to her, you have other questions about what to do, best practices, or you just need somebody to handle this for you. Because come on, you're business owners. You don't have time to do it. I know. So make sure you reach out to her. I am going to put her contact information in the comment section. Those of you who are on LinkedIn and you need to get her information, give me a hot second. Don't hang up yet. Don't get off the call yet. I'm going to get that to you. Let's see here. So we got that. This is her email address coming through. And what is your handle on Instagram?
My handle is Valerie K Email Marketing on Instagram and on TikTok.
I'm just going to type it in, Valerie K Email Marketing. There you go. So Instagram and TikTok, this is her handle. I just put that in the comments. And thanks again for joining us, everybody. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. So guys, listen up. This will not be the last time I do a live. As a matter of fact, mark your calendars, July 21st. I'm going to have another live and we're going to talk about company pages. So mark your calendars, July 21st. In the meantime, if you missed the beginning of the call or missed the beginning, make sure you follow me. Hold on a second. Let me put that back up so you can get my contact information. So go ahead, just take your phone, scan that QR code, and follow me there. You can also follow me. And of course, I had all the information at the beginning of my notes here. You can also follow me on Facebook. Scroll up in the comments and you'll see that as well. I'll put that on LinkedIn too. But again, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you coming in, spending some time with us. I hope you reach out to Valerie. Get with her. She can help you out. If you need help with social media, reach out to me. Let's talk. And we'll see you guys the next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Bye. See ya.